Hi, I have I don't know, the best job in the world or the toughest job in the world. There are four strong ladies and I'm supposed to moderate them, which is not going to be possible. So I will request you guys to be kind. We have a topic today which is on federalism. So we will talk about that. But I also think we have a very unique opportunity. We have four female politicians from different parties. So I think in the end, I will stop the discussion on wherever it is, and I can guarantee you it's going to be with many chilies. You know how the restaurants have one chili dish, two chili dish. However, it could be probably four or five. But I will stop you and then talk about something which you will all agree on, which is on the issues related to women in politics. I think it's unique opportunity to spend some time on that. Lalita ji is in one end. I think have they made it like deliberately, like BJP at one corner and Congress over there, and regional parties. But are you sitting with your allies? No. Okay, that's fine. Okay, I don't think so much thought was put into it. So this federalism thing, there are two. I will play both sides because I'm the moderator, and then I'll maybe start with Shamaji, and then go to Lalita ji, and then come here. But let's say, why do you need federalism, yaar? Why do we need it, right? It's like an animal with 30 heads. And because of this federalism only, there is this, everybody has to go to a different state, new policies, new rules, new, people to impress, new people to all kind of regulations. And then you even have things like, you have to speak Kannada, you have to do this. All this is happening because of this only, right? So why do we need it, right? We have the army, we have a cricket team, they all are national. They work without federalism very, very well, right? That is one side of the argument. The other side of the argument is, can you run a country so complex like India entirely from the top? Do you need to preserve local culture, local places? We have unity in diversity, or do we do unity in a blender? I compare it to, you want to eat fruit salad or you want to have a fruit smoothie. Both are nice, or both are like you can have a choice. So that's what we're going to discuss today. And let's start with Shamaji.
Chetan, federalism is about aspirations within aspirations. Let's go back to history. Let's go back in history, and we know that for Junagadh, it's a small little region near Gujarat. Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel put everything out there to make it part of India, not just because it's going to Pakistan, because it's part of Bharat. Hyderabad, Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel at that point of time fought and saw to it that Hyderabad remains in India because it's part of Bharat. Bharat is a mosaic, and nobody, no leader will change that. We have had it for years. There is the Tamil culture, you have Assam on the other side, you have Kashmir, you have Gujarat, Punjab, Karnataka, Kerala, Madhya Pradesh. Everybody is different. But at the end, we are all part of Bharat. We have languages which are very precious. We have our culture, we have food habits. But at the end, I wouldn't say it's these things which connect. It is about being Bharat, one Bharat. And that cannot change. If we go back in history, all our saints, gurus, everybody, the ones from Bihar are different from Tamil Nadu. The ones from Kerala are different from Punjab. So we have had these different regions. We have had, initially it was called Madras.
Got it.
Shamaji, let me finish it. So what I'm trying to say is, nobody can come and tell us one shoe fits all.
Okay.
Tawang is part of India, just as Chennai is, just as Srinagar is. And we are all different, I agree. But at the end of the day, one shoe can't fit the whole size. It cannot be one nation, one election. It cannot be one religion, and it cannot be one language.
Okay, Lalita ji, madam is saying one shoe doesn't fit all. Abhi CM sir came, he said, "Kaam nahi karne de rahe." Like, he said, "Why can't I have a gift city?" He said, there is talk one nation, one election. There is talk of, a certain culture that needs to be there of Hindutva. There is talk of Hindutva culture of India. So, how does it work with the BJP? What is BJP's view on this?
At the first instance, I would want to tell that Ativrushti, Anavrushti, both of them do not stand for the prospect of this nation. Federalism always helps you to restore, ensure and secure your ethnic culture, which includes everything along with upbringing of children, family, festivals, food, which is very, very important for this nation. But what happens is that when it comes to as a union, as an entity, as a country, certain things are left as a nation because we need to represent Bharat at international standards. That's how very good example of your cricket comes. We still pick up players from all parts of this country, which has nothing to do with the local culture. It's about the talent of being a cricketer. You can't represent as a Tamilian, as a Kannadiga, as a Telugu, as a Bengali, or as a Punjabi at international level. You still have to represent as a Bharat. But what is happening, either because of an extreme federalism, also I would give an example of the endowments, the temples which are stuck in endowments. These are the kinds, what happens when the waters flow in your state? They get stuck. So what's very important here that BJP would want to tell at the end of the day is सबका साथ सबका विकास. आप अपने अपने जगह पे अपने अपने राज्यों को संरक्षण कीजिए अपने अपने संस्कृति के साथ, लेकिन जब भारत की बात आती है तो आप एक बन जाइए भारत को आगे लेके जाने के लिए, जहां फेडरलिज्म भी है और भारत एक राज्य के तौर पे भी है. This is exactly what BJP would want to communicate. That's the reason we do participate with a very local festival called Batkamma. At the same time, we also participate in Tej. We also participate in Sham Baba festivals, which come from all the way extreme Rajasthan.
Okay. Kanimuri ma'am. Lalita ma'am, I think I've never heard this term before, so she may have coined a new term. Extreme federalism. She said that. Now, DMK is regional party. The whole politics is around identity of that region. If federalism weren't there, maybe DMK wouldn't even be there. I don't know. So she's saying that you need to be one nation, you have to present one image, everything, yeah, a little bit federalism is okay, you preserve the culture, but like, you can't have extreme federalism. So, what do you have to say?
Good afternoon to everyone. Bhagatji, like what Madam Shama and Madhavi has just spoken, as they mentioned, federalism is the need of the hour. India is a subcontinent. It is not just a country. It's a union of states with different ethnicity, different language, different country. From Kashmir to Kanyakumari, we vary with languages and culture. And every state has its own climatic conditions, language, which needs its own policy. So as we always, the DMK strongly stands for the state autonomy, which all comprises together and then forms the country, subcontinent, the India in diverse. That is the true India which we have been visualizing from all our birth. Not only that, as mentioned by Madhavi Madam, the cricket, yes, we have taken cricket as a major game of India. How are you going to converse there? You should have some language in common. That's why we need federalism. We cannot bring upon one nation, one country, one election, one language. Sorry, we are in diverse in unity. So we require a language to communicate it. If we have to look upon in the international perspective, if we have to fight there, we do require state policies which would help the center to help them. That is federalism and that is the need of the hour right now.
All right. I mean, tell me something. It's all great when, by the way, cricket has some federalism now. IPL is sort of different states of India over there. But when it's all good, like, okay, different cultures, they make paratha, we make dosa idli, okay, it's great. What if there is a clash? I'll tell you an example. And I think you have not personally spoken on this issue ever before, but I think it's really important because it just trended so much and people talk about it so much. In the north, at least for Hindus, Sanatan Dharam is a way of life. It's the idealistic way of life almost, right? It's held very dear. In your party, a very senior leader like said Sanatan Dharam is like a parasite and whatever else they said, I mean, we can look it up online. you've never commented on that, but here's a case where you say everybody should be allowed to be different. This is a very big difference to the point that like there's a like big clash. It's a divisive issue. So what are your thoughts on this before I move on to ma'am and let her have her opening statement? Like this Sanatan Dharam comment that has come from the DMK, which shook the nation really, at least in the north. Where were they coming from? Can you explain to somebody in the north who doesn't understand?
Okay, first of all, what was spoken was totally misinterpreted in the North India is what I would like to put it across and clarify things over here. When you started the discussion, you also said we also have to talk about women in politics, what we need to do. I'm just reading out the exact words, what the Deputy CM, Udayanidhi Stalin, had spoken. Just give me the opportunity to read out. He asserted and that he echoed the views of Dravidian leaders like Periyar, former Chief Minister C.N. Annadurai and M. Karunanidhi. Women are not allowed to study. They were unable to leave their homes, and if their husbands died, they would have to die as well. Tandai Periyar spoke against all of this. I echoed what Periyar, Anna and Kalaignar said. In September 2023, the Deputy Chief Minister had compared Sanatana Dharma to dengue and malaria with this context and reference, stating that it should be abolished. He was quoting to the women's equality rights, to be very precise, but it was much badly interpreted in the North India, and it was more politicized with what I could say.
They just cut a little clip and just...
Cutting, clipping, all happens in politics. You must be knowing better than me.
We will cut and clip this also.
Oh, thank you so much.
Yes, so you think like it was a quote, he was making a quote from somebody else in the past and they just used it as his quote.
Yes, it was basically what Tandai Periyar used to talk about women's equality, how they were treated. They were not allowed to study, not come out of the houses. The sati which he spoke about that in that conference and said it has to be abolished, and that is the one which he compared to the dengue and the malaria, which needs to be abolished.
And that is abolished now. We don't have
Of
those
course, yes. It was
yeah.
a conference of social justice. So I think all those points would be brought forward over there. It was one of the points. Okay. And we are, to be very honest, we, the Dravidian model government, which is run in Tamil Nadu under the leadership of M.K. Stalin, we are never against God. In fact, the HRNC department of Tamil Nadu, which is running, has almost taken up all the temples for renovation. More than thousands of temples have been renovated in Tamil Nadu. If we are against that, I don't think we would be doing that for the people. So it's not we are against that. We are against certain ideologies which brings injustice to the people. So the correct understanding is never onto the north side. It's always the south is looked upon in a different character. That's where we land up here.
That's true. And I'm married a South Indian, so I know the story. Every day it happens. Now, ma'am, CM sir came this morning. He said, I want to do this for Telangana, I want to do this. Nothing is like they're not letting me, they're not going to let it become 5 trillion, they're not going to let my state go out. And you guys are helping them in the center by being in power. Yeah, ally, you're India ally. And that you are in this classic confluence of federalism versus center. When you support the center, you are being accused of not doing the right thing for Telangana. And I don't know how that is helpful when you see that if you become central, you're against federalism. If you're big, so how do you react to his comments really?
Chetan, I think I should probably pity them, I would say. I would say pity them. I would say I'll pity them. I'll tell you why. Because what's the meaning of federalism? True meaning of federalism. See, you're seeing me here as Jyotsna. I represent myself. I have a unique attire for myself. I have a unique nature for myself. And I represent my state. I represent my culture. I represent my entire, ethnicity and everything. So definitely if I'm coming here to ABP Summit, I'm here representing as myself. I'm not representing you and I'm not, aap mein mil nahi gaye hum log. I am what I am. And I'm here to be vocal, talk about my rights, talk about my state. That is true federalism, as simple as that, if you have to put it across. And if you're, agar aaj CM ne bole hain ki, I can't do this, I can't do that, probably, sorry boss, you are inefficient probably. I don't know. When other CMs can get it done, if you're not getting it done, something is wrong with you. It's not nothing wrong with the center as such. And again, see.
But he needs center's approval for certain big changes.
I'll tell you one thing, sir. I'll tell you one thing, Chetan. See, yesterday we got an approval for Amaravati railway line in Andhra Pradesh. Why did it happen? Because we put across the proper, the entire project plan. We put across what was needed for the state, what the state would do, what the center is expected to do, and we had a leader who could put it across properly to the center. And it's not about we being a part of center. It's about how you put across your point to the center. And again, why did the entire point of federalism come? We have been seeing it, whether it is DMK or TDP for that instance, both of our parties, if you take, what was the requirement for our birth? Why did TDP take birth? Simple. We were, the voice of Telugus. Because we had to have a party which would represent the thought process of Telugus, which would safeguard the rights of Telugus, the interests of Telugus, which would stand by them and which would talk about them. That's the reason TDP came into existence. That's the reason Honorable ex-Chief Minister N.T. Ramarao Garu got TDP into existence. And we still see it. And today, when we have our Honorable Chief Minister Nara Chandrababu Naidu Garu talk about Andhra Pradesh, he talks about what is the requirement for the state. He doesn't talk about communities, he doesn't talk about religions, he doesn't talk about any other thing. He talks about technology, he talks about what the state needs, he talks about what is the requirement of the state and what the center, up to what extent the center can help us and up to what extent we can help the center. See, earlier it was the thing, Chetan, we would say, I think Babu Garu used to say, Naidu ji used to say all the time, think globally, act locally. He would always say that. Now, I think we have to change it as think globally and also act globally, because we are in a world where we have to act globally. Okay. We have to link ourselves to what's happening across the world.
Okay. Shamaji, earlier, even now we have joint families in India where there is one Dadaji and you have many sons and they are staying in the same house. And in a way, I compare it to like a country. And if the Dadaji is ultimately the big decision maker, and that's kind of central level decision making. And then you have different sons. Someone's wife says, I don't want to eat this vegetarian food in the house. I want to eat my kebabs. So let's make our own kitchen in this house. Someone says, I want to put a AC here. That living room, Dadiji doesn't let me put the AC on. I want my own AC. For example, like this, slowly, everybody should be allowed to think their own way. They have certain things. And then dhire they even sometimes fight and things like that happen. So just like that, we have talked of nationalism, nothing wrong with nationalism, but there is something called extreme nationalism, which many people now agree can be a little bit bad. Is there something extreme federalism, where you keep on going on and on about federalism, and it kind of holds the nation back? Should we also bring that term into existence?
No, you must understand now, the TDP spokesperson just spoke. We remember in 2018, when they did not get the special status, they walked out of the government. Okay, so what I'm trying to say here is, they're assertive, but they've come back, because at the end of the day, let's understand that no one size does not fit all. I'm going to tell that again. I'll give you an example. Yesterday, 675 crore from the National Disaster Relief Fund has been distributed, 600 to Gujarat, 25 to Manipur, and 50 to Tripura. And the reason being given is there have been landslides, rainfall, etc. Fine, I'm happy about that. But what about Kerala? Kerala had in Wayanad a huge landslide. I visited there, and we got nothing from the center. In 2018, when the Kerala floods happened, we got nothing from the center. So our issue is, why are the BJP states like Gujarat, Tripura, Manipur given extra, whereas states like Kerala, which have had national disasters, are not given anything. So there, the federalism is weak. It is the center which is taking control of things. And let me make one thing very clear. Nobody from my party has called any part of the state Pakistan. But the Home Minister of the state has called Wayanad Pakistan, because he believes that there is a certain number of community which is higher. But honestly, Wayanad has 40% Hindus. That is the largest community in Wayanad. You had the, one second, let me finish this.
Yeah.
During the Karnataka election, there was the Kerala story, which was talked about, insulting Kerala. I am a Muslim married to a Christian. Neither has my husband converted, nor I have converted. I am from Kerala, and I don't know where this Kerala story comes from. So I can tell you that is demeaning Kerala every time. Federalism, you should hold each one of our states' hands and say, we are with you. We will help you out. We are one. And that's how India, you see, after independence, the Western countries said, India will not exist. Democracy will not exist. It's too difficult. Because a Tamilian is so different from a Kashmiri. You're a Punjabi, I'm a Keralite, you're married to a Tamilian. So they're very different because of our strength, our will, that we stood together.
Okay,
And
I'm going to have to interrupt you,
that.
Shamaji, because she's saying that Gujarat is like, I mean, all the states are the center's children, but some children are more favorite than others. And the double engine children are more favorite. Is that an accusation which has any basis, or is it not have any basis, or is it like to be expected कि double engine है तो थोड़ा तो प्यार होगा ही?
Before I could answer her, I have a small answer to be given to my adjacent, to my fraternity sister, that please tell me how many women in DMK's family have come out to show the equality for women, prosperity to women. Sati is a very long back thing that has gone, dead gone days. Now I come to one more point. Now tell me in what federalism, power and strength West Bengal is not able to solve the death of a girl. All federalism is open to them to solve the problem. It is not being solved, it is being dragged. I come up to one more problem, issue in our own Telangana. Temples behind temples, endowments come under the state government. They're being vandalized. We are waiting for the state to give us justice. People come from Bombay, with whatever the name they come from. They come from an Islamic name. My point is not towards Muslims, but people who are vandalizing our temples. There is a case on him twice for vandalizing temples. They come here, 140 people, continuously. We come up with the names, we come up with the hotels that are conducting Jamaats. They pick up people like us who sit with the right of constitution to sit on dharna. Third point, what is Hydra? When poor Muslim and Hindu, Dalit families are being demolished their houses, there is no say. All federalism, thanks. There's no one to come out. Here we have to raise voice requesting center, please come down to help us. Please come down to help us. Why? All federalism is left for the people to take a decision. In my own old city constituency, there are madrasas where children can get enough food, cloth under Article 32A. They can all be given CBSE and state government permissions to get educated. What's happening? Why the madrasas still hold to just go through the only religious education? Where would the bread and butter come for those children? In my same constituency.
Ma'am, we don't have time. Okay, I have to get to
I just want to say one
Okay,
thing.
okay.
Yeah,
I know.
I just want to reply. 2
10
things.
seconds.
1 second only.
Okay.
One is UP has enough and more madrasas, tell Yogi to take care of it. Number 2 is, in the last 10 years, we are hearing Guspetia, Guspetia, Guspetia. How do these Guspetias, according to them, come? From outside. Who is in charge of the BSF? The Home Ministry. So why don't you ask Mr. Amit Shah, why are these people coming? How are they coming?
Okay.
It is not the other opposition
अमित शाह
party.
जी का काम, अमित शाह जी का काम बॉम्बे से हैदराबाद लाने वालों के बारे में देखना नहीं, वह यहाँ का होम मिनिस्टर का काम था, वो जो होम मिनिस्ट्री अपने चीफ मिनिस्टर अपने जेब में लगा के फिर रहे हैं, जो कांग्रेस के हैं. तो पहले कांग्रेस के चीफ मिनिस्टर आपका होम मिनिस्ट्री क्या कर रहा है, आपका सर्वेलेंस क्या कर रहा है?
I do want to, because we have very few time. I know. I told you there will be 5 chilies. I think we have reached that point. So we'll pause here. One by one, we'll go in sequence. I want to ask, women and career is a classic debate, classic issue. Every women's conference about that. Work-life balance for women who want careers. Now, politicians' career is the toughest career in terms of the time demands. Even the CM sir said today Nobody wants a part-time politician. You either are full-time or you're not. Now, therefore, you're supposed to be full-time politicians, but you're all mothers, you're all having families. Do you feel, one, honestly, guilty when you do politics, it's as your domestic home stuff is concerned? And how do you balance it? It's just some advice for some girl out there who will be watching this and thinking, I also want to join politics. So maybe what advice you would give them? I don't think you guys have to fight on this one. So we'll start from that side again, Shama. 30 seconds to each. 1 minute, 30 seconds, 1 minute to each.
Well, it's tough being a woman. I mean, I remember when I started off, my younger one was 5 and the older one was 7, living in Pune. And being a spokesperson, I had to keep coming to Delhi. For 2 years, I was coming to Delhi every alternate week, spending 4 days here, and the other week would be in Bombay. So my children at one point said, you are a mother who's never here, you know. So I have heard all that. It's tough for women, and especially when you have a husband also who travels. So we have to multi-task things. But I think the most important thing is we need more representation. We work very hard, and I know the bill is only going to come later on, but I believe each party should start giving the tickets, you know, to women, since the bill is already passed, but it is not yet, there are certain caveats to it due to delimitation and the population census. So there are caveats to it, but I believe the party should start giving representation to women, because women are much more transparent, let me tell you. When we are given, I see a lot of women here today organizing this, and I must tell you, the women do nothing against the men, but they do a fantastic job. And a big clap to the women out here. They do a fantastic job. They work hard. They'll be on time. I get the calls from the women in this exactly on time. Ma'am, this is ready, that is ready. So let's understand that we women work very hard. We leave our kids. It's not easy for any one of us to leave our children. It is the toughest part. Today is my son's 17th birthday, but I promised them that I'll be here. So I'm taking an early flight to be there in the evening with him. You know, so that's what we all have. And for a man, a question is never asked about all that. You know, usko karna hai. But you know, that's his thing. You know, the woman is taking care of everything at home. But when we do it, who takes care of everything at home? My husband's abroad. He doesn't live here. So it is tough. And I hope the political system, the parties understand what women do and how women can form groups. Even in Kerala, we have the Kudumbashri and various other cooperatives, how they can help out. So give women more tickets and understand the pain of a woman, how hard she works, and stand with them. That's what I would say.
Okay. All points covered, Shamaji. For the first time, I think I should accept what you say. But again, at the same time...
I will make you guys agree on something.
Good, Chetan. But again, I'll tell you one thing. What's different with women politicians? Women are in other professions too. They have problems there also. So women in any profession encounters problems and they fight it and they win it there because it's a woman. Trust me, only women can do it. Again, nothing against my brothers here, but only a woman can do it. Again, I'll tell you one more thing, Chetan. The major problem any woman in politics faces is acceptance of leadership. Acceptance of women leadership is still not done. We have to accept that. For the women or for the young girls who want to come into politics, I think we as a society have to change our focus. See, I'm glad ABP today has a session with 4 women out here recognizing us as the leaders and voice of our parties, whether it is BJP or Congress or DMK or TDP. ABP has recognized 4 women spokespersons, put them out here, voice out for your party. So I think this is an acceptance of women leadership. And I'm really glad that ABP has done, and thank you so much for doing. But again, this is what has to happen. Women leadership has to be accepted. No one does that, Chetan. बहुत बातें होते हैं, बहुत बातें होते हैं. There are only very few parties like Telugu Desam Party, or I think I can up to some extent say Bharatiya Janata Party. When it comes to giving tickets to women, they have their say, we have a certain, not up to that 33%, but yes, we cross that percentage when compared to other parties. I'm here, definitely I'll have to accept that. But certain other parties, all the other parties have to do it. अरे यार बोलो मत, मांगो मत, पहले दो तो आप, दे के तो देखो, सीट दे के तो देखो. When you give seats to women, then they win and come back. You have a strong voice up there in the policy making and decision making stance. What happens is we keep telling, Chetan, I'll tell you one thing. I don't know how many years Shama has to tell me, but how many years the women reservation bill was pending, Shama? I think some
Reservation bill was
some
passed
years
in
together.
2010 when the UPA government was in power.
Yes.
It was passed in the Rajya Sabha. Unfortunately, we didn't have a majority in the Lok Sabha.
Lok Sabha.
But in 2014, this government came, it was there in their manifesto, we'll pass it. They had 10 years time, they had majority in the Lok Sabha and the Rajya Sabha, but they did not pass it, the BJP, the Bharatiya Janata Party. That is the issue. It should have been passed by 2014.
No, one
I would have been happy.
Let me
We have to
complete
give
Chetan.
others
Not
a
have a
chance.
No,
majority.
I'll tell you why I asked Shama that question, because I knew Shama would get this. But the point here is, we have been rattling it on it. Why are we literally begging for the women reservation bill? We have to get our due. Sorry for any other parties. Whether it is 33% or even less or even more. We are 50%. And अगर आप पूछोगे ना चेतन, सीधी तरीके से अगर कोई भी पार्टी है, मेरे पार्टी से लेके कोई भी पार्टी है, बॉस 50% वुमेन को दे दो. Because we are 50% out there. आधा, तो आधा देना है. That's when you get more women leaders, and that's when you'll have the acceptance of women leadership. My point is that it's nothing against, the policies or things like that, but when you have more women, the women leadership is accepted. Once you have the women leadership accepted, definitely things will change for women politicians as well. Today we are struggling, no doubt about that. Struggle is there for us, and the same struggle is there in other professions also. I can see Bhargavi here. I think I know what kind of a struggle she undergoes in her career, and I know what kind of a struggle others undergo in their career. The same struggle we are undergoing, but because we are less in number, probably the struggles are more.
Yeah.
थोड़ा हमारा
Yeah.
नंबर बढ़ा दो बस चेतना,
Okay.
बोल दो ये बात.
I mean, women are very strong, man. I mean, ask any married man here, he will tell you. Ma'am.
This is a very wrong notion.
No, this is very correct. आप मेरे घर आके
I'm not
देखो.
going to accept that.
Okay.
I'm a
was a joke.
dentist, but
Huh.
in dentists we don't have this much patriarchy as we have in politics. This unbelievable.
Yeah, dental patriarchy is not a term I've heard. Yes. Okay, ma'am.
See, me being a member of parliament, I'm still a practicing gynecologist. I'm a spokesperson. I'm a mother of two. I'm able to juggle behind all
How?
these things.
How?
How? Because we think tangentially. Men think one at a time. That is the problem. You can do only one at a time. We think tangentially in all parallels.
Oh.
Okay? Like how Shama said, I am sitting here, but still I think at the behind the mind, I have to go for my son's birthday. That is it. You are here, you will not think of your wife, you won't think of your kids. That is it. That makes us the leaders.
I'm trying to be focused.
So it is, why you guys don't bring women to the stage? Because we would capture the whole stage and you would have no place on it. That's the way men put us back. That is how I look at it. Okay.
I'm just a moderator. Power to आप लोगों के पास है.
But I have to say the truth, no?
But it's
Then I
true.
cannot be
No, I'm sure. And as I think you know this, that power, nobody gives you power.
So
you have to take it.
We take it. So that's the way we have to keep moving. So for the young girls also, yes, we can all come into politics, but educate yourself, that which nobody can take from you, and that will give you a place on the stage, is what is the message which have to be conveyed to the youngsters who's looking at this. And to my sister who has just put a question to me, see, 50% of reservation of work was given in police department by the Dravida Munnetra Kazhagam under the reign of Dr. Kalaignar, which we should not forget. And we were the first person to bring 30% reservation in the local body elections for women, and we had done that also. Okay. And not only that, we have also gotten reservations for all the students, for the women students. And we have also brought in for the widowers to get money from all these were brought first by the DMK reign. And ma'am has spoken about so many riots and communal rights. Madam forgot to say about the 2002 Gujarat riots, which has taken a toll on us, and the Ayodhya temple, which took a toll on us, which we should not forget. If Madam had mentioned that, I would have been more happy on that too. Now, anyway, all the women on the stage, the question which was put up last by you is accepted by all of us, stating that, yes, women have to be more in the forefront, and please, men, give us some space to stand on the stage is what the request. I would put it across to you.
Okay. Well put. Thank you. Ma'am, you'll have the last word and your comment on this.
The basic question was about whether women feel guilty when they get into politics for giving full time. That's actually the basic question was. So if I have to answer this question, I'm a little different because for 21 or 22 years, I've been a homemaker with all my 3 children bringing up at home. And I always believed in one thing, it could be of any use to you or not, but I always believe that it's women who makes leaders. Even Shivaji also was made only by mother. So it's very important that I felt that women is such a superpower that she only can give good leaders to this country or to the world. So that portion of our responsibility is very, very vital. We often see very dynamic women, very dynamic men who have sacrificed themselves to the nation and for the good cause. But what happened to their children? Why is that genes not has been taken forward? And somebody who is capable of doing this as a Srishtikarta, as Brahma, is only women. So I know she has to undergo some amount of compromise. But who can think like her, like a mother for the nation, has to inculcate that seed within her children, is what I feel personally as a responsible woman. Now coming up, her difficulties to take up politics as a profession. I think similar issues are there with police officers also, because there's also a full-time job. Same issue even doctors have, because there's also a full-time job. What is very important that all of us have to understand that women have to come together to become as one fraternity, stand up for themselves. That's only speak up for our own selves, which is very, very important. My dear friend has just now told us that it's till 2010, the bill has never come. Who stopped Congress bringing the bill? Under the great leadership of Indira Gandhi ji, who herself is a woman, I think for 60 years if people didn't act and people are questioning repeatedly what BJP is doing, then it's also time BJP question back that what did Congress do under the great leadership of a stalwart, legendary leader called Indira Gandhi ji. Maybe the women bill should have passed by then itself and made the country and the world feel proud that, that women are very important for this nation. So it's nevertheless that who have done, who haven't done. It's a time that women all, irrespective of parties, irrespective of regions, come together to say that we make Bharat. So we all need that power to have the reservation and especially freedom in politics. Thank you.
Okay. Okay. I think we went over time a little bit, but it was totally worth it. We had some great insights from all of you and we managed to agree on something, at least in the end. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you.